Turn the lights down low and the drama up. She's late, she's loud, and she live. Woo! You already know who it is. Shades 2, baby. She back again. Mic hot, crowd lit, vibe on 10. Shade walk in like we back again. News, tea, jokes and spins. She don't do small talk, she go in. From the headlines to the comment section, she call names with no correction. You tuned in, don't act brand new. It's late night, baby, she got that view.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want, then laughs all day. Live on Shay's Tube, press replay. You thought I let and back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want, then laughs all day. Live on Shay's Tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Popcorn ready, wig on alert. She dropped one line, and somebody hurt. Talk show queen with a side of roast. She run this thing from coast to coast. Late on purpose, still on time. She hit you with shade, then call it a rhyme. Talk smart, talk slick, talk flame. Say the name right, yeah, late night with Shay.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want, and laughs all day. Live on Shay's Tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want, and laughs all day. Live on Shay's Tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. That's right. News, drama, laughs, whatever else you feel like. One mic, one queen. Late night with Shay. On Shay's Tube, she back again.
It's late night with Shay.
Yeah, she say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's Tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again.
It's late night with Shay.
She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's Tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Yeah.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Shay's Tube Late Night Owls Talk Time. Thank you guys so much for being here. Welcome to everybody in the bushes, everyone who watched this in the replay. Over here in the chat, we got Jermaine in the place to be. Thank you guys so much for being here. And thank you, Jermaine, for being here too, because I know you are sleepy. All right, you're representing for the night owls out here, the people who like to stay up at night. Anyway, I hope you guys had a beautiful Wednesday. And today, happy and blessed Thursday. Y'all, these days go by so quick, I almost forgot what day it is. Anyway, if you enjoyed this content tonight, make sure you thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notifications, share, and leave a comment. If you want to show additional support for this channel, you can feel free to do a super sticker, super chat, Cash App donation at $Shades Tube, or you can comp yourself a membership. Thank you guys so much. Thanks to all who have donated in the past. And we are getting ready to get started. Don't forget, copyright disclaimer is scrolling across that screen. The entire copyright disclaimer is always in my bio section of this channel. Alrighty? Alrighty. So we got some stuff to talk about tonight in this hour and a half. No more than 2 hours, you guys. We've been staying on too late. And we're going to have a good show tonight, okay? So go get you a relaxing seat bed. If you are at work, watch and listen to me on the download. And we are getting ready to get started with this live. First thing first, you guys, we are going to talk about that good news Karmelo Anthony and his team got today. All right? So let's go ahead and change this first. Let me turn the music down just a little bit. And we are going to get ready to do this. All right. me take this off. And let me turn that music down just a little. So a lot of good news today, regarding Karmelo Anthony. And maybe even for Nola Wells, because they claim that it could be another possible witness. So we're going to talk about that after we get done with Karmelo Anthony's update. All right. So as we know, Karmelo did go to a hearing earlier today. Well, on Wednesday, he has another one today, Thursday. Okay. So let's talk about that really quick. I mean, you can't use that one, huh? So let's see here. Okay, so according to ABC News, you guys, Judge John Roach was recused from Karmelo Anthony's case. And that's that is some great, as a matter of fact, let me just put the sound effects on because that is some great news. Okay, let me go ahead and see where, do I have the clap? I don't even know if I have the clapping. Let me see if I can get the clapping thing real quick. I don't know what happened to it. What happened to it? I don't even see it on here anymore. Oh, here it is right here. Oh, you can't. Let me just see. I can take the, I can probably take, I can hide the laugh down and put that one up there. Let's put the clap back up there so we can add it. Okay, so like I just said, out with Judge Roach and in with a new judge. Okay, I am so happy about that. That's some great news. And like Jermaine said, hopefully he gets even better news today. Let's hope that he gets his new trial. And I think he will. I'm trying to be positive. I think that Karmelo Anthony will get a retrial, a new trial. So let me go ahead and tell y'all about what happened today. Excuse me, you guys. So anyway, as you guys already know, Karmelo Anthony, 19 years old, was convicted and sentenced to 35 years in prison in June of this year for unaliving Austin Metcalf at a high school track meet. And I'm gonna tell you straight up, you already know how I feel about that. I honestly believe they gave him too much time. You got people who have committed double unalivings, okay, and they did not get 35 years. So I think from the start of this daggone trial, they had already painted in their mind, the judge and all of them painted in their mind that Karmelo was guilty. He did unalive this kid, no self-defense, and we're going to make sure he goes to prison for life. Okay? Point blank. I think they had that in their mind, period. Anyway, in the defense motion seeking to recuse Judge John Roach from the post-trial proceedings, Anthony's attorneys questioned both the judge's impartiality in the case and his courtroom restrictions. So as we know, when Karmelo Anthony trial started, Judge Roach imposed a gag order in the case, and he stopped anybody from bringing any type of electronics from the courtroom, and a lot of different things he did. And he claimed he did this because he said that his court case, his trial, was bringing in a lot of attention, and he thought it would hinder, the outcome, I guess, which I call BS. They also said in the motion that Judge Roach has some problematic comments. He made some when he had that interview following Karmelo Anthony's verdict, in which Judge Roach endorsed the jury's guilty verdict, and he defended his courtroom restrictions. Now, that motion also pointed to a public letter that Judge Roach released following the trial, in which he stated that those who worked on the case contributed to ensuring the process was conducted fairly. And I just do not agree with that. Like I said in my daily news reaction earlier, I do not agree with that. I do not think that his trial was fair. I just don't, okay? I don't. And I agree with this. I feel like he was too. So anyway, they said the court made an extrajudicial public statements that objectively appear to commit it to the verdict, and the challenge assesses rulings while it still retained authority to decide a timely motion for new trial attacking those very matters. So this past yesterday, Wednesday, defense attorney Russell Wilson argued that Roach gave public comment about an impending proceeding, which should be an automatic recusal. And that's according to ABC Dallas affiliate WFAA. Prosecutor Bill Wiersky argued that Roach did not do anything wrong and alleged there was a concerted effort from social media and influencers to disrupt the high-profile trial, according to WFAA. The prosecutor said, "I know Judge Roach. What is important to Judge Roach is being fair." So that is what the prosecutor stated, according to WFAA. Now, Judge Sid Harley, who traveled from San Antonio for the proceedings in Collin County, granted a motion to recuse Roach from any further matters in the Anthony's case. In his order, Harley wrote that there were grounds for recusal, and that the evidence at the hearing is such that the respondent's judge impartiality might reasonably be questioned. After everything was done, people walked out of the courtroom. They were cheering loudly, and some were crying. A crowd of a dozen people in the parking lot shouted chants, including "Free Karmelo." So a hearing is scheduled for today. Karmelo Anthony's attorneys alleged in part that Roach's courtroom restrictions denied him a fair trial. They also alleged that the court improperly instructed the jury and claimed that prosecutors prevented Anthony from testifying that he acted in self-defense. And y'all know how they did that, because we talked about that with that gentleman's agreement. Anthony's attorneys said they are pleased by Harley's decision to recuse Roach and look forward to presenting the merits of Karmelo's motion for a new trial to a fair and independent judge. So, like I said, later on today, we're going to find out if this new judge, if he will grant Karmelo Anthony a retrial. And I really hope that he does, because I think he really deserves, a retrial. Because I just don't feel like that trial was fair. First and foremost, he should have testified, okay? And the way that gentleman's agreement ended up being done is plainly ridiculous, okay? So I feel like he should get another opportunity. And this time he needs to get on the stand. They need to call up some character witnesses, expert witnesses, all of that. All of that. They need to do all of that. He definitely made that mistake. I don't understand that. But it's a reason, a deeper reason why he did that, because that should have been allowed, along with some other things. And they also talked about the lesser charges of manslaughter and sudden passion, okay? and he could have got up to a maximum amount of 20 years. And they, I think the judge, excuse me, if I remember this correctly, it just wasn't, they did not, the jury did not even want to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? They wanted, listen, for me, I believe they wanted to give Karmelo, find him guilty, and they wanted to give him as many years as they could. Because clearly everything that was shown to them basically benefited Austin Metcalf. Let's keep it real. And I think, it should be, more fair. You have to also, let witnesses for Karmelo Anthony be up on the stand to talk. Expert witnesses, all of that need to be there. Character witnesses. Karmelo himself should have been up there. Because how in the heck can we understand or know exactly, why he did what he did if he's not up there talking? If he can't tell us himself what happened and why he felt like he needed to do what he did, he needs to get up there and talk. Now, I did tell y'all the other day that they may use another gentleman's agreement, but this time it will be done correctly and fairly. Okay, if they do use that. I don't know if they're going to use that because I think they said it may be a possibility. I'm not sure because I told you guys about that a couple of days ago. So you can feel free to look that up. But yeah, so if they do another gentleman's agreement, just because I guess they don't want certain things from either people or either, any of those people, Karmelo, Austin, and his brother, they don't want, I guess, any of their past, whatever, to be brought up in the trial. I actually think they should bring it up, but it just depends because I don't know, everything about the case. I'm not the lawyer or anything like that, so I'm pretty sure they know what they're doing. And we don't know what, these kids might have been doing before. Not saying that they were doing anything, but, when you think about the gentleman agreement, if you remember what I said it was, it prevents you, it prevents the people from basically bringing up their past stuff, past stuff. Like, for example, if somebody was a bully, they probably won't be able to talk about that. Or if somebody got an altercation in school or whatever, they probably won't be able to talk about any of that. So you say in hindsight, it might be good that he didn't testify in the first trial, right? Because if he would have testified and they still found him guilty, he got 35 years, he would not be able to probably do a retrial. What would he do it off of? I mean, he could still possibly do it off of the fact what the judge did, because that's what this retrial, this motion for the recusal and all that stuff, that's what that stems from. So I don't know. Anyway, you said in hindsight, it might be good that he did not testify in the first trial. I think the gentleman's agreement now said may have ended up violating Karmelo's right due to process. To due process, violating Karmelo's right to due process. It might help get the appeal. You could be right. Yep, I agree. So, now he will have a different jury, hopefully a jury of his peers for real. And that doesn't, let me tell y'all something, because a lot of people think because you get, a couple Black people up there, they can automatically say not guilty. That is not true. So don't be thinking that, because you may get sadly disappointed. Listen, a good jury, people, I don't care what color you're on, you're going to listen to everything, look at the evidence, you're going to listen to everybody talk, hopefully Karmelo will be up there talking to you and listen to everything. And then you're going to decide if you think that's self-defense. Was it justified? That's what you're going to have to decide. That's what a good jury, a good pool, a good selection of jury people, they're going to sit there, they're going to listen to everything, and they're going to decide if he should be in prison for 35 years or 20 years or 10 years or 5 years or nothing. Okay? That's what a good jury people do. That's what they do. Versus, ones that are in the twilight zone, or they just see only one side of everything. They don't see, the other side. You know, there's always more than one side to any situation, any problem, any altercation. You know, it's more than two sides. So we need to see these sides. We need to see Carmelo's side, you know, Austin's side. We need to see the witnesses' side, his witnesses' sides, all of that. We need to see that. So today we can expect another hearing. Okay, let me do this real quick. Hold on. And I'm going to show y'all some videos real quick too. Let me see if I can pull this up. So anyway, today we're going to find out if the judge will grant Karmelo Anthony a retrial. And just say if he doesn't, I guess that's when they probably will go for an appeal, I'm guessing. So like I said, I hope and I think that the judge will, you know, give him a retrial. Because when you look at the case, I don't understand why he wouldn't. You know, I don't understand why he couldn't and he wouldn't grant that. And I do think that Karmelo Anthony deserves a retrial. He did not get a fair trial at all. He really, truly did. Let's see what else they got here. So they said, let's see here. Let me play his if I can find him on TikTok. I don't want to see it on here on my phone, but we're going to see it on TikTok. Hold on for 1 second. Let me mute this music. Okay. Take this down and let's go over here and watch this real quick. Let me just type this in here real quick. Let's see if I can find this on here. Here it is right here. Let's go ahead and watch. Let's go ahead and watch this real quick.
When you heard Bill Wertzke, the prosecutor, basically say, look, we think he did a great job. He made these rulings. He did what he did because he was trying to protect people that were getting death threats. And it was agreed upon beforehand by the attorneys on both sides, including Carmelo's lawyers. What did you think of his statements?
Those agreements that were made that he referenced, the agreements that were made pre-trial should have been the subject of a pre-trial order, should have been in the record. And I appreciate that Attorney Wilson said, well, if that is in fact the case, then a normal trial means that there should be some more sort of record of that, not just simply Mr. Wertzke's testimony.
Why do you think a lot of that wasn't on the record? I mean, if you're having all of these discussions, I mean, I've covered courts for a long time. I've never quite seen these kind of like agreements behind the scenes without it actually being laid out in an open court or at least on the record somewhere.
It was not on record because it was unlawful. The idea that the agreements that they made in order to circumvent the rules of evidence, in order to obtain some goals that were outside of zealously advocating on behalf of Karmelo should have never happened. And I think that's the reason we're going to be granted a new trial.
So talk about tomorrow. Some of the key elements are going to be the fact that there was this backdoor deal between Toby Shook and Bill Wertzke, and then at the last minute, so they didn't try this case like they would have normally.
That's
Is
right.
that going to be
a major component of it? Like I said, there's jury instructions. There's a closure issue that the trial should have been open to the public. But yes, a major discovery that our appellate team has found is that there were a lot of backdoor agreements that should have been formalized in writing, and we have to parse out verbally what those agreements meant and what rights they stole from Karmelo for a free and fair defense.
Do you feel like that's probably why some of the defense did not bring more character witnesses? Because I think people were puzzled by the fact that there was only one witness, and that was Carmelo's mom, instead of others.
It was exactly why they didn't bring additional defendants. It was these secret agreements was the reason that they didn't get into certain very important evidence, and why they didn't call critical witnesses, and why Karmelo didn't get a fair trial process.
So you feel like you will be granted a new trial based on what you guys have discovered so far?
I think that the law will require a new trial based on the facts that we have discovered so far.
Okay. Anything else, anybody? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That was very interesting. When you heard Bill Wertzke, the prosecutor.
So someone said he would not get a new trial. Yes, he will, because that gentleman agreement, just like this lawyer just said, okay, the way they tricked this young man and preventing him from testifying, gave him like a couple of minutes to make up his mind if he would testify or not. And then basically, if I recall this correctly, scared him somewhat. That alone is not providing him with a fair trial. Okay? He did not have any witnesses except his mom. Who does this? Okay, who does this? No character witnesses, no expert witnesses. They didn't even use the fact that this kid has epilepsy, right? And they didn't bring in no type of expert witness to talk about that. And because it does relate to the daggone case. Okay, because the thing is, if one of those boys would have hit him up in the head, they could have triggered a seizure. Okay, so he probably was afraid because of that as well. Then the character witnesses to talk about Karmelo going through school, all the things that he has done when he saved someone's, a little child, a white child's life, all types of little stuff they could have talked about. He worked 2 jobs, 1 or 2 jobs. I can't even remember. I don't know if it was 1 or 2. Had good grades in school, just did good. They didn't bring up any of that. Any of that. It's just not fair. And then the judge's comments and stuff like that is plainly ridiculous. 10 minutes to make up his damn mind if he wanted to testify. Like he could actually make up his mind in that amount of time. And then you basically scaring him. You know what I'm saying? And then they bring up something in the past or something. I cannot remember that exactly. That really went against the gentleman's agreement. Supposed to say anything about the past and some other things you don't supposed to discuss. That's why they use that agreement. And we talked about that agreement, when I went over it and stuff. So I don't see how the Judge Harley, I believe, cannot grant him a retrial. Okay, because if you're going by the law, he should get one. And I know a lot of haters hope he doesn't get one, but you should hope he does get one. Okay, because if you think he is so guilty, you don't have anything to worry about. Okay, you don't have anything to worry about. Why are you guys scared to let him speak and let these other witnesses come up and all this other stuff? And you know, if they don't do another gentleman's agreement, hey, we can bring out all the past for real. We can let the world know what was going on in school. Did anybody bully anyone? Was anyone racist, calling people racist names? Was anybody any physical altercations at school? Did anybody bring any weapons to school? We can find all of that out. Okay? So I think this retrial is good. It allows him the opportunity, Karmelo Anthony, the opportunity to get up there and tell us what happened from his viewpoint. Point blank. Hold on for 1 second, y'all. This girl does not have her key code. Hold on for 1 second. Damn. Oh. Okay. All right, sorry about that, y'all. So this him getting that retrial is a damn asset, and I'm not gonna lie. And I'm glad he's getting it. I don't care what none of y'all said. who don't agree, who do not agree with this. Okay. Now let me go ahead and show the next video. See. Okay, let me go to my messages and see what. So you got the same one up there. Thank you, Jermaine. We thinking alike right here, huh? So we're gonna play him later. I don't like this dude. Okay, let's go ahead and do this right here. Let's see this. Oh, we can't do the music, Jermaine. Goodness. Now you said, hold on. This individual was in the bleachers recording with his phone pointed at the direction. Where is the footage from that phone? So they said the person actually recorded the video. Investigators knew or should have known about the recording. The recording existed and was not collected or disclosed. All legitimate grounds. So a person was over here recording. That's what they're saying. Let me see. I know they're playing music. Let me see what's going on here. If anything is going to happen besides the music playing. They probably just got the music playing and just, you reading it. Whoever this kid was, they was definitely recording where the footage from the phone. Yeah, they was recording. It looks like a phone in his hand right there. He was recording that from there. So where is, somebody said that's Eddie. So where is this kid at with this phone? And why isn't this footage shown? Okay. Somebody said that's Eddie. I don't know who it is. Somebody said probably so. They said they confiscated some phones, right? But somebody else said and they didn't use any of those. It looks like he has a phone in his hand. Looks like he is recording. That's why he's holding it out there. No, we don't know for sure, but that's what it looks like to me. Okay. Let's see what we got next.
Presided over the Karmelo Anthony case in Collin County was recused today. A new judge will take over tomorrow for Anthony's appeal hearing. The 19-year-old was convicted of murder and sentenced to 35 years in prison back in June for the 2025 Frisco track meet stabbing of Austin Metcalf. And today's ruling is considered to be a win for Anthony. Fox 4's Alex Boyer was inside of the courtroom and has details on what's next. Alex.
Hi, Eden. Yeah, certainly is now out, and a new judge who has yet to be identified will take over this high-profile case from here. Now, like before, no cameras were allowed inside of the courtroom for this morning's hearing. Karmelo Anthony was wearing a green prison jumpsuit and handcuffs initially when he was brought in by the bailiffs. His hair cropped short. Anthony, who is now 19 years old, convicted of the murder of Austin Metcalf back in June and sentenced to 35 years in prison after a jury had rejected his claims of self-defense during a confrontation with Metcalf at a school track meet last year. Now, Anthony's legal team, led by Russell Wilson, argued this morning that a retrial was warranted in part because Judge Roach enforced overly strict courtroom rules, which really limited public access, and also gave a TV interview 2 days after the trial was over and well within the window for an appeal to be filed. Now, the judge sided with the defense and ordered that Judge Roach be recused. That led to cheers outside of the courtroom by dozens of...
The only reason that this is even happening is because it's black folks out here protesting and these corny, weird white people who feel like they have a debt to black people in perpetuity are going to do something they would never do for anybody else. Overly strict rules in the courtroom. Karmelo stabbed a kid in the chest. There is no justification for stabbing somebody in the chest who was unarmed. Especially...
How in the hell do you know? Were you there? Okay, were you there? Period. Okay, what you mean there's no justification? It is a justification. Okay? You weren't there. You don't know what those boys could have been doing to him. You don't know if these boys were doing something that made Karmelo think and fear for his life. You're just going by what they are presenting to you, and everything wasn't presented. Okay? They claim right now that a kid had a phone in there recording stuff. So where is that recording? I get so tired of ignorant ass black people running their mouths on social media. The thing is, I don't give a damn if it would have been the other way around. I don't think the case, the trial, was fair. Period. I don't think that.
I mean, Shaq Cole, thanks for joining us. The judge who presided over the
handcuffs
Karmelo Anthony
initially when
case
he
in
was
Collin
brought in
I
County
hate the
was
way this thing does a double thing. I don't know why it does that.
I mean, Shaq Cole, thanks for joining us. The judge who presided over the Karmelo Anthony case in Collin County was recused today. A new judge will take over tomorrow for Anthony's appeal hearing. The 19-year-old was convicted of murder and sentenced to 35 years in prison back in June for the 2025 Frisco track meet stabbing of Austin Metcalf. And today's ruling is considered to be a win for Anthony. Fox 4's Alex Boyer was inside of the courtroom and has details on what's next. Alex.
I'm gonna go up some. I'm
Certainly
putting the double
is
court.
now out, and a new judge who has
Damn, I don't know why this thing always shows. Let me see if I can pull this up myself because I don't know why it always shows double. I mean, you can hear it double like this on here. Karmelo Anthony appeals get a huge Tatum calls out double stand. Ain't no damn double stand. What the hell is this dude talking about? For real. What's his name? Tatum. So I can pull this up because I don't know why it does that double sound like it does. Let's see if I can find it. Here it is right here. Rubbing all on his nose and shit.
Shaq Cole, thanks for joining us. The judge who presided over the
out inside of the courtroom for this morning's hearing. Karmelo Anthony was wearing a green prison jumpsuit and handcuffs. Really strict courtroom rules, which really limits it.
A debt to black people in perpetuity are going to do something they would never do for anybody else. Overly strict rules in the courtroom. Karmelo stabbed the kid.
Listen. It's one thing being strict. It's another thing being unfair. Okay. There was really no reason for him to bar all electronics. What are you talking about? See, this is what keeps black people dust down because we got ignorant ass black people who sit up on social media talking bull crap. Okay. Talking bull crap straight up just to, be on the side of the majority. Okay. Be that house Negro.
Chest. There is no justification for stabbing somebody in the chest who was unarmed.
To think about it again, justification. Again, you weren't there. You are not him. Okay, you're not him. You don't know what Karmelo was feeling inside, what he thought that they might be doing, and I don't think we have the whole picture. Point blank. Okay, when there is a retrial and he gets up there and tell his side, and you bring all these other witnesses in, and you bring the character witnesses, the expert witnesses, and more importantly, when Karmelo gets up there and talk and tell what he felt, what he experienced, and everything else, then we can actually make a real decision if it was justified or not. Okay, because we don't know for sure. That's why I'm so happy that he gets the opportunity to at least have this judge consider doing a retrial, because honestly, he needs to tell us why he used that weapon. Point blank. That's what he needs to do. And that's what you should have been saying. Point blank. Not sitting up here saying there's no justification. No, we you know what? I wish none of this would ever happen. Okay. I wish that, the two dudes would have went over there and got the coach, or either Karmelo would have went to the coach, but none of them did that. So it is what it is.
Especially when what is your argument? Self-defense? Self-defense has to be proportional. A person can't come up to me and I initiated it because I'm under a tent I'm not supposed to be. I get confronted.
Boy, shut your ass up. Because somebody is underneath a tent. Okay, it doesn't mean that he initiated a dang on thing. Okay, because first and foremost, being underneath a tent should never make somebody get so mad where they got to be doing weird stuff in the first place. Listen, when that boy came over there and started talking to Karmelo was minding his business. Okay, yes, he was underneath a tent that he shouldn't have been under because he does not play for that team. But he wasn't the only one, and this is something that other kids do as well. Period. They do this too. So him sitting underneath the tent should have never escalated to what it did. Once they asked him who he was and all this other stuff and told him, you know, he's supposed to be there, he didn't want to leave or whatever Karmelo said, that's when someone should have went to the coach, all right, and backed off. If somebody telling you to leave them alone, that's exactly what you do. You back off. You go get the coach, somebody who is in authority, and you let them handle that. Y'all always talking all this smack, but you don't say the whole truth. That's what I can't stand about human beings, because they don't say the real stuff. It's always a goddamn excuse why, ooh, he should have did this because if he wouldn't have been underneath the tent. When the real thing should be this right here. If you ask this dude who he is, he said, my name is Melo, whatever he said, and he acts like he does not want to be bothered, and then you ask him, do he go to the school? He say no, and you say, you're not supposed to be underneath this tent. He said, okay, I'm not leaving, make me leave, or whatever. I don't know what he said. This is news for you. This is a not news. This is an alert for you to go and get the coach, to go get the person that's in authority, to have him come and deal with the situation, not you. Somebody telling you to leave them alone, back up, or touch me and find out what happens. You shouldn't be touching them. You should not be touching them. Now, if Karmelo had to use the KNIFE, I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know what was going on in his mind. I don't know how he feared for his life or anything else. That's why it's good for him to get up on that stand and let us know, and then we go from there. But for this dude right here to be sitting up here talking about somebody, black people this, black people that, boy, shut your ass up on everything. Somebody need to tell your ass that, for real. Somebody need to tell you this.
And because the person, I don't know, I don't want to fight, I get to stab the person.
And
a deadly weapon is a deadly weapon no matter what.
Wait a minute, you said what? He thought it was okay for Zimmerman to unalive Travion? And right, and see, he's a hypocrite, okay? He's doing the double standard. So why was it okay for George Zimmerman to unalive Travion? Nobody told that man to keep on following this dude. If I was walking down the street and somebody is following me, I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? Okay, and I may get my weapon out. That was wrong all the way. That's why his ass is going through the stuff he's going through now. Because let me tell you something. Y'all can sit up here and be unfair all you want to, but it is a higher power. And he will deal with anyone that does that. You know what I'm saying? Because he is going to do things right. This man ought to be ashamed of himself. I don't like him. I really just don't.
Karmelo stabbing him or shooting him is the same thing. He utilized a deadly weapon to kill somebody. So you can't just shoot somebody because they tell you to move and you don't want to move.
The thing about it, dude, listen. You should, when somebody tell you to leave them alone, do that. Why come nobody won't say that? Okay? We already know that somebody simply telling you to move, it does not justify you to ab them or pew them. We know this. But the thing is, we don't know exactly what went on besides the little grainy video that they showed. Okay, why is the video so damn grainy? Where are the other shots of that area, if there is any? All these kids are standing out there, right? All these kids were standing out there watching and everything else. You mean to tell me no one took out their phones and took a recording? I don't believe it. Eddie claims he was pretending to record. I don't believe that. That's stupid. What kid do you know pretends to record something? Most of the time when they start a fight, let's keep it real, they record for real so they can put it up on TikTok, IG, Snapchat. Let's keep it real. This dude right here is delusional. I don't care what nobody say. And I cannot stand black people who does what he does.
Witness statements from kids who were black and other kids who were there at the track meet said that Karmelo Anthony was the aggressor.
Okay, just because they say that doesn't mean it's true. They also have inconsistent stories, okay? Just because they say that does not mean it's 100% true. They were mostly Austin's friends, okay? Even the black kids, okay? And the thing about it, all of their stories did not stay the same. It did not stay the same, period. And how is he the aggressor because he's sitting up underneath the fence? I mean, underneath the tent. And he didn't go to them. They came to him. If someone keeps on asking you questions and you're telling them to leave you alone, How is that being? How are you the aggressor? I hope he never experiences anything like this, okay, in the future, or anyone in his family, because I wonder if he's going to keep the same energy.
But because these silly, spineless white people feel like that they got to capitulate to black fake suffrage,
What?
that they
Fake
allow
what?
foolery to happen.
Boy, shit. The
If
foolery,
the boy,
the foolery is the white people and the black people who support this foolishness he's speaking right now. That's the foolery. Okay?
and race to me don't matter.
Oh,
You stab
no.
somebody in the chest.
No, it does matter. Every single damn day it matters. When a black boy, 19 years old, thinks he's doing self-defense and he uses a KNIFE and then he gets charged. You know, he goes to trial. They go through this trial unfairly. The judge gets up here and make comments that he shouldn't be making. Okay. You do an agreement where you basically kind of do some trickery and stuff. Okay. And you give them 35 years, but you got some white people who unalive 2-3 people and they do not get 35 years. So what do you mean? It ain't no race thing. It has every damn, you know what? It has everything to do with race. Because if the shoes were on the other foot, every damn body would have been up here saying that Austin feared for his life. And that's why Karmelo got unalive. And that's what they would be saying. Okay?
The track meet, you shouldn't have had a knife, and you cannot justify a use of disproportionate amount of force, and you can't justify.
Listen, if we went by that standard about what these kids shouldn't have, please, okay? It's not uncommon that some kids do carry weapons, okay, like KNIFE. It was a pocket. What type of KNIFE was that, Jermaine? Wasn't that like some type of weapon that you would use to, I don't know what kind of KNIFE it was, but I thought somebody said that it was something that you use to do something with your shoes or something if you play a sport. What kind of KNIFE was it, Jermaine, if you are not asleep? And you said, what now? He just got done assaulting black people. Then he says race doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. He just got through talking about black people and calling white people who support this basically ignorant when he's acting like the person that's ignorant by saying this stupid shit. You can get up here and you can talk about this case and how you think it's a double standard without talking about black people who support him and white people who support him. I don't watch this dude right here because I don't like him. I'm just be perfectly honest. I just don't. I don't like any person that puts down their own race. They can be black, white, or whatever. And a person that says one thing and does something totally different. I don't like people who do that. Period. The
Acting
thing
as
about
if you needed to do self-defend.
But-
It's you go to jail. You get time in jail. You kill somebody's kid. That's race aside. When you add race into it, you add ignorance into it. Because now the person who should be going to jail for killing a person for no real reason.
no, he did not have a real reason. Huh? You have not even talked to this kid or heard anything he has to say because he hasn't said anything. Let's see what you said. So multi-tool is what you call it. A tool. It's a tool with a KNIFE on it. It's basically a multi-tool is what I call it. So those type of KNIFEs, believe it or not, I bet you a lot of kids probably carry those around. Okay. Now, why he had it on him, I don't know. That's why he needs to be up on the stand so he can tell us why. Okay. And what actually made him fear for his life. We need to find that out. But for him to sit up here and say this guy wasn't it wasn't justified because he didn't fear for his life. How do you know he didn't fear for his life? Are you Karmelo Anthony? Are you in his mind? Were you there?
Said they out here doing this, but they won't do nothing when other young black men are killing each other and they're not getting justice either. That's the part that bothers me, is the selective outrage and the selective support.
Oh no,
Young black men are laying.
No. They do talk about that, huh? Okay, it's just like when it's black on black crime, nobody cares. Okay, let's keep it real. But they do talk about it. You got people marching around in the neighborhoods and stuff. You got them up on YouTube talking about, they're trying to stop the black on black violence. What are you talking about? You got people like you, though, who sits down here and tear down the black race. How does that make you any different? Because even if I thought that Karmelo did not act on self-defense or anything, and he wasn't justified or anything else, I'm not getting ready to sit up here and tear down the entire black race and start talking about stuff that doesn't even pertain to this case. I'm just not going to do it. Black on black crime. What about white on white crime? Huh? Why are we always talking about black on black? You do have some black people who stand up against that and talk about it and try to make a change and things of that nature. I have talked about black on black crime many days, just like I talk about white on white crime. So one thing I don't like is, like I just said, black people who tear down their own race to make themselves look good in front of another race of people. Okay? If you believe that Karmelo Anthony did not act in self-defense, that's basically all you need to say. You don't have to tear down other black people. You don't even have to tear him down. And you cannot say what this young man felt. Because I guarantee you, if the shoe was on the other foot, this discussion wouldn't even be happening. There are so many black people who have been unalive in the hands or by the hands of white people, and ain't a damn thing been done about it. You got all these black people coming up, hang, you know what, from a rope, okay? And nothing has been done about it. They always lie. And some of them, they did not commit the S word. But you want to sit up here on your live or whatever shit and say that black people got excuses and all this other stuff, and all this other stuff you're talking about. And that basically, I'm just thinking he's saying that we're just making up stuff when we defend Karmelo Anthony. And we're only defending him because he is black. And that's it, basically. No, I think people who defend him really believes that he did self-defense. Okay, he wasn't the aggressor because he said, Joe, your team is ass. Dude, I'm pretty sure you've been to many sport games where they talk about each other. They be calling the team names and everything else. Does that mean that you get mad and want to fight? And I'm pretty sure you've been to games and stuff when you were younger, where other kids come to other kids' tents. I ran track and we went to other tents and nothing like this happened. My kids played sports. None of this never happened. They went to other people's tents. I don't give a damn if he was sitting underneath that tent and he was sitting up there for hours. There is no reason why that situation should have escalated. Once they asked him his name and told him he needed to leave and Karmelo said no, that's when they should have went and got the coach. And until all of you guys that refuse to understand that this should have happened, you're going to always have this type of shit going on. But because you're not teaching your kids this. Go to proper authority. Get them. Let them deal with the situation. Not you. Not you. And until you guys stop thinking like that, you're going to have many more cases just like this. Just like this. And I hope that he never has to deal with this situation in his family. Because like I always say, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Watch what you say. I don't want to hear no more of his foolishness. And I mean that on everything. period. Now, let me go ahead and look at what now I don't want to watch this because he likes to attack people. That's just plain and ridiculous. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next one. See, when I don't like people, I don't really listen to them or watch them. Okay, I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you guys. So let's see what Secret Service Sam is talking about.
Sam here with a Karmelo Anthony update. And as you guys know, Judge Roach, the scattering little roach, has now recused himself, has now been recused from the Karmelo Anthony case. And now we have a new lawyer, Judge Chitty. Chitty, bang, bang. Let's hopefully he bang bangs on that gavel of justice. Now, some people have said that he's known for giving long prison sentences, but nothing can be as bad as what Karmelo has already experienced. So we are hoping, but I hear he's fair. Yes, who knows what his connections are, but I had heard that some of the family of the other side scurried away as soon as they heard that Judge Roach was recused. They were not very happy about that. And I guess for good reasoning, because maybe some of those good old boy connections won't work this time around. But yeah, chitty, bang, bang. We'll see if he's going to lay down that bang, bang, that tang. We'll see. Hopefully Judge Chitty ain't shitty. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Secret Service Sam out Samson for president of the world. Sam here with a Karmelo Anthony update. And as you guys know.
Yeah, we hope he ain't shitty. You know, and more importantly, I just hope he's fair. Because the thing is, if he's fair, and like I said, they bring Karmelo Anthony to stand up and testify on his own behalf and let him tell us from his viewpoint what happened. Okay. And you bring out the character witnesses and the expert witnesses and whatever else you need to bring out so it can be fair. And if they come to the conclusion that it wasn't justifiable, then it is what it is. But the most important thing is that I think they do need to do a retrial so we can hear him speak and we can hear everything else that they have, all the evidence. If they do not do another gentleman's agreement, we can hear about the past. Because let me tell you something. If somebody is a bully and goes around school doing the most and is aggressive and likes to bully people, we need to know about that. We need to know about that. So I hope they don't do a gentleman's agreement. I hope they just go ahead and do everything they need to do. He needs to get his ass up on the stand and talk to Mama Karmelo. They need to have expert witnesses, character witnesses, and any damn thing else they need to get up there. So we can really find out if this was justifiable or if it justified or if it wasn't. Period. For people to sit up here and say what this dude went through, he wasn't fearful or anything else, is plainly ridiculous because you weren't there. You're looking at a grainy ass video that you really can't even tell exactly what everything that transpired. You're lying, saying nobody has footage. I don't believe that. Okay. What else? And you claim that he was the aggressor just because he said your team is ass. How is that being aggressive? And another thing too, okay, because it's coming back to my memory because I'm talking about it now. Listen, if Eddie knew that Austin and his brother did not like for other people to be underneath that tent, maybe certain type of people, whatever, I don't know. Why did Eddie call him then? I still ask that question. I think they need to call Eddie on the stand. Because I want to know, again, he need to be up there so he can get cross-examined. Because I want to know, and I mean hardcore cross-examined. I want to know, why did he call that kid over there? Knowing that the two twins don't like other people coming underneath that tent. And then, before the altercation ever really happened, once it started escalating. Why didn't Eddie tell Karmelo, let's get the crap out of here and you go back over there to sit over here or something like that? Why didn't he break it up? See, y'all don't be teaching y'all kids right. I'm just going to be perfectly honest, because somebody should have broke that shit up before you started. Eddie called him over there, right? He should have intervened. You said Tatum makes you sick, but he thought it was okay for Zimmerman to unalive Trevor. You know what I'm saying? That's stupid. This is another example of a stupid ass, black ass man. Okay, you're not a king, you're nothing. He just got done insulting black people, then he says race doesn't matter. Clearly it must matter, because he wouldn't have brought it up. Huh? If race doesn't matter, don't bring it up. Don't bring it up. So again, getting back to Eddie. So why did he call him over there, knowing that they don't want him underneath that tent, or they don't like certain people to be underneath that tent? And when Karmelo said whatever he said, when he said the team is ass and things got heated, that's when he should have told Karmelo, man, you may need to leave. Because I would have told him that if I was his friend or somewhat of his friend, because he was his friend. Got pictures and shit, all this other stuff. And I need them to talk about that a little bit more in depth if he gets a retrial, because they didn't go far enough with that. People, these kids up on the damn stand not saying the same thing, you know what I'm saying? And then y'all say the reason why they're not being consistent is because they forgot. Ain't nobody forgot about what happened. When something major goes down like that, you do not forget. You may, let me give them the benefit of the doubt. You may forget a little, but you're not going to forget all. I can tell you guys about shit that happened to me years ago and basically don't forget any of it. Especially something that damn traumatic. When the girl at the gas station robbed it and I was in the store a year ago, I can tell you everything about that. You're not going to forget that. And that's the damn shit. I don't watch them because I don't like them. Just the little things that I heard. I don't like that dude. Now, some people I don't like, I can watch. And those are the ones who they can say, they don't agree with me or they don't agree with something, but they don't start using race in it, and they don't start insulting people. I can listen to those types, but I can't listen to him because he makes me mad. That's sad. You're gonna put your own people down to get views on YouTube. See, those type of ignorant ass black people are the same type that got our ancestors in that slavery shit. Your type, Tatum, or whatever your fucking name is. You see, you're not the only one who, you was a former cop. Well, my son is a cop, okay? And I got law enforcement in my family, period, okay? And why isn't he a cop anymore? Is he a real cop? Was he a real cop? Jermaine, because you know about him. I don't know anything about this dude. I just know black people get up online tearing their own race down. It's just really pitiful. That is one of our problems right there. That's the main problem of some black people. If you don't like certain things that black people do, you don't have to put them down like that. You can just say, I don't like certain things that black people do because it's just plain ridiculous. I do it all the time. But I also talk about white people. I also talk about other race of people. I don't just talk about just blacks, because black people are not the only ones unaliving each other. You got white people every day unaliving other white people. And in all honesty, we need to stop all that shit. Because let me tell you something. I don't give a damn what color you are. Your life is important. Whether you are black, white, Latino, or whatever, your life is important. Okay? A former cop, okay. But why isn't he a cop anymore? He just basically stopped being it because he didn't want to be a cop anymore or what? But the thing about it is this right here. It may be a good thing that he's not a cop, because we need cops who are not going to be racist against their own people, okay? Who sit around and say that just because a black person objects to certain things, they're basically ignorant and stupid and dumb and they support foolishness. So we don't need cops like that. That's the problem now. We got them people who shouldn't be law enforcement officers being, cops and shit and things of that nature, lawyers and things of that nature. That's why this world is so effed up now. Let me go ahead and go to the next video. I do not like this man. Don't give me any more videos that he talks in. Okay, let's see. Let's see what she's talking about.
Boy, does this Karmelo Anthony case got people
Damn, I hate when it does this.
Boy, does this Karmelo Anthony case got people acting a fool once again. Let's listen to this next caller unprovoked. Never talked to this person a day in my life. This is really some bullshit, and it's getting really disrespectful on both sides. But listen to this. Y'all let me know in the comments. Do y'all agree with this behavior? Yes or no? This shit gotta stop.
Or in a nigger murderer.
Hold on, man. First of all,
why are you supporting a nigger murderer?
I'm not. Hold on.
You are. You're supporting an
saying
EBT user.
Hey, if you
okay,
think
look.
any of them words is gonna piss somebody off, you are savage.
I don't care. You're an EBT user.
You don't know how to use your big
You're
boy
an
words?
EBT user.
Do you know how to
You
use
are
your
an
big
EBT
boy?
user.
I don't qualify.
You
for
are an EBT user.
He sound like he been using something, and I don't even. She need to be on that show. The thing is, see, you got some ignorant ass people. Listen, I live in a predominantly white area, city, the whole area. Okay, there are just as many white people, and I live in a affluent area. Okay, that use EBT cards. Okay, see now they have these cards where you can't really tell what they are. And I remember, I've been in grocery stores, right? And I'm thinking the people are just playing, with regular debit cards. So one day I decided to start looking. It is a lot of white people that use EBT cards. So what is this ignorant ass dude talking about? Huh? And the thing about it, let me tell you something. Don't knock anybody email way. If you have to get EBT, you got to get it. If you got to get welfare checks, you got to get it. That's your prerogative to do that if that's what you need. And for people to be putting people down because they got to get that is plainly ridiculous. And for people to sit out here and think that only black people use EBT cards is plainly ridiculous. This idiot don't got anything to do but sit up there and call in on a damn station. If you don't like something or you don't agree with it, why are you watching her? Huh? Why? Let's finish playing this. Oh my God.
Boy, does this Karmelo Anthony case got people.
Let me do it again. Y'all know why it does that double stuff.
Boy, does this Karmelo Anthony case got people acting a fool once again. Let's listen to this next caller unprovoked. Never talked to this person a day in my life. This is really some bullshit, and it's getting really disrespectful on both sides. But listen to this. Y'all let me know in the comments. Do y'all agree with this behavior? Yes or no? This shit gotta stop.
Or in a nigger murderer.
Hold on, man. First of all,
why are you supporting a nigger murderer?
I'm not. Hold on.
You are. You're
saying
supporting an EBT user.
Hey, if you think any of them words is gonna piss somebody off, you are savage.
I don't care. You're an EBT user.
You don't know how to use your big
You're
boy
an
words?
EBT user.
Do you know how to
You
use
are
your
an
big
EBT
boy?
user.
I don't qualify.
You
for
are an EBT user.
I don't qualify.
Get some money and stop being broke,
I
nigger.
don't qualify.
Stop being broke, nigger.
Well, you know why your words
Stop being broke. Stop being broke. Stop being broke.
Why are you mad?
You're supporting a murder because you're supporting a nigger murderer.
You don't know who I'm supporting. Why
You're
are you
supporting
mad?
a murderer.
Why are you mad?
He could have walked away, but he said to.
You could shut the fuck up. Okay, that's what you can do.
You're a nigger. That's why you.
I got to stop it because it's gonna do a double thing. Is he Latino? Because it doesn't sound like it sounds like he has an accent. Jermaine, are you in this thing? Is he Latino? The dude who was just talking. Because if he is, he's just as ignorant as some of these other racist ass clowns. I hope he's not. She need to be on her show because I would have told his ass completely off, and I mean completely off. Damn, you don't got shit to do but get up online and call somebody Nigger when you're clearly acting like one yourself. Okay, on everything. I would have laughed at his ass. I would have made him so mad. So mad. And secondly, I wouldn't have explained a damn thing to him. You're talking about EBT when he sound like something's going on with his ass. It sounds like he got some DICK in his mouth. I don't know what's wrong with him on everything. You know what I'm saying? I would have made him pissed off mad. I'm going to be perfectly honest. Hell, that's why I thought he had a damn accent. Because all I hear, you're EBT user. You're like he got stuff stuck dead in his damn throat. And I mean that on everything. I mean, because what real man getting up here calling up on the damn YouTube channel? Talking about you an EBT user, you an EBT user. He sound like he's speaking damn using an EBT card or some shit. I don't know what's going on with this dude. Damn, let me finish listening to this dude. This is hot ass juicy mess. Damn. Man, these people are cray, man. Let me see. I got to start.
Boy, does this Carmelo.
Let's see if I can start from there because this damn thing always doing this.
Boy, does this Karmelo Anthony case.
Let me do it one more time, y'all. Let me play the whole thing this time.
Boy, does this Karmelo Anthony.
I know it's hilarious. You need to die.
Wait a minute, I don't know. Why is this thing always showing like?
Boy, does this Karmelo Anthony case.
You're a nigger. That's why you want me to shut up. You can't use words.
No, I know.
This is why Donald Trump need to take you blackies out of my country.
Never talk to this person a day in my life. That is hilarious. Some bullshit.
I know it's hilarious. You need to die.
It's gonna play secondly. Let me see if I can find D. Lachey on here myself. Damn. I don't know why it does that. I know why, because I got a dodo bird sending it to me. For real. I know why. Oh man. Let me see if I can find it. Why? Listen, nothing. So I want to tell him, what the hell are you concerned about who I support? Worry about who your stank ass support on everything.
Boy, no, I know how to
This
use
is why
my words.
Donald Trump need to take. Could have walked away, but he started to.
I
thought that she hung up on this dude. Did he call back? Let's see.
Loser.
I don't qualify.
Get some money and stop being broke,
I
nigger.
don't qualify.
Stop being broke, nigger.
So you're telling me that every white person is rich? Stupid ass. That's what you're telling us? That every white person is rich. No white people are on EBT or get food. That is food stamps or get a welfare check or Medicaid or anything. The only ignorant person is this ignorant ass man. And is that him right there? That's the only ignorant person is. Because, I mean, clearly white people, black people, Latinos, Asian people, all types of people get welfare.
You know why your words
stop being broke. Stop being broke.
Stop being broke. Why are you mad?
You're supporting a murder because you're supporting a nigger murderer.
You don't know who I'm supporting. Why
you're
are you
supporting
mad?
a murderer.
Why are you mad?
He could have walked away, but he started.
You could shut the fuck up. Okay, that's what you.
I think that dude is completely white either, Jermaine. Damn, I hear accent. Hold on.
That is hilarious. Hey, listen.
I know it's hilarious. You need to die.
He came back. Hold on.
No, I know how to
This
use
is why
my words.
Donald Trump need to take you blackies out of my country.
Hold on.
You want me to shut up? You can't use words.
No, I know how to
This
use
is
my
why
words.
Donald Trump need to take you.
Why are you mad?
You're supporting a murder because you're
Why
supporting
are
a
you
nigger
mad?
murderer.
You don't know who I'm supporting. Why
You're
are you
supporting
mad?
a murderer.
Why are you mad?
He could have walked away, but he started.
How about she should have just opened up her panel, right? Because I like to do that. Just open up your panel and let him come up there. He can talk so we can see his face, all of that. That's what you should have did.
You could shut the fuck up. Okay, that's what you can do.
You're a nigger. That's why you want me to shut up. You can't use words.
No, I know how to
This
use
is
my
why
words.
Donald Trump need to take you blackies out of my country.
That is hilarious. Hey, listen.
I know it's hilarious.
It's not hilarious. It's actually sad because he thinks this is his country. Okay, that's what's sad. He's ignorant as hell. I mean that on everything.
You need to
You
die.
know what? You are a tough guy on the internet, and that's cool. You
I'm
can be
not.
a tough
I'm
guy
very
on the
tough.
internet.
I
You
would
can
say
be a
this to
tough
any
guy
one of
all
y'all
you want
faces.
to on the
I would say
internet.
this
Well,
to
I wish you would come and say it to my face, in my face. I really wish you would. Okay, you come to my panel. I'll let you up on the damn panel on everything.
any one of y'all
No, you
faces.
would not. No,
I
you would
would.
not. You wouldn't
I
still be
would.
allowed to talk right
I
now, babe.
would.
You wouldn't. You
I
wouldn't.
would.
You wouldn't.
You-
You would not. You know what? Listen, to all my black people out there, don't let them words ever disturb you and get you out of character, because
Would.
you wouldn't. You would not. You know
Hold
what?
on, let me look at
Listen,
this.
Say
be a
this to
tough
any
guy.
one of
So this is him right here. That's probably not even a real picture. Okay. See, that's what you're going. He doesn't even sound like he's white. Sound like he has an accent.
All
y'all
you want
faces.
to on the
I would say
internet.
this to any one of y'all
No,
faces.
you would not. No,
I
you would
would.
not. You wouldn't
I
still be
would.
allowed to talk right
I
now, babe.
would.
You wouldn't. You
I
wouldn't.
would.
You wouldn't.
You-
You would not. You know what? Listen, to all my black people out there, don't let them words ever disturb you and get you out of character, because that's what weirdos like him want. They want
Oh, you say use it like that?
you to get out of character. You know what I'm saying? So you call him a nigger and an EBT user. I don't give two fucks about none of that. Honestly, I don't qualify for food stamps, unfortunately.
The thing about it, I wouldn't even explain shit to that dude. Okay, fuck him. Who is he supposed to be? Okay, he probably his mammy probably get EBT shit or food stamps or somebody else in his family. I wouldn't explain a damn thing to him, because if he was so damn educated, he would not be up there acting uneducated up there on your show. I wouldn't explain a damn thing to this dude. He can't even show his real self. Okay, you should have invited him to your panel. You should have opened up one, let him get up on the screen. He can talk whatever he wants to. That way we can see who he is, and when he talking, and certain people will see that, then it is what it is. That's what I would have done. What blank? That's plainly ridiculous. How in the hell are you so mad that somebody supports Karmelo Anthony? Okay, if you don't like it, then you don't have to support him. You don't have to watch these people who support him. Period. Now I only have one screen open. I don't have two. You talking about this right here? No, it just sounds like that. I don't have but one screen open when I go to TikTok. Okay. I don't think he's straight up white. He could be, but I don't know. I think something else is going on there. Everything, I really do. Somebody calling people names like somebody giving them. Let me tell you something. Again, y'all know where I stay, like I just told you. Do you not realize that some of these people out here call each other that? Some of these young kids and stuff, they call each other the N-word, but they don't say E-R, they say N-I-G-G-A. So, I mean, you know, he's getting up here hiding behind the screen and shit. Probably is not even his real profile picture, and talking smack. Talking smack. That's what he was doing. Thinking he's important and shit, talking about EBT when he knows somebody in his family getting food stamps. And all white people are not rich. All white people are not seeking. No, some white people are seeking government assistance, just like some black people are. Just like some black people are wealthy, you know, are doing pretty good. He just trying to make her mad and stuff, but I would have blocked this ass custom out and just blocked and be done with it. You don't owe nobody an explanation to what you get. What the hell does he get? Where did he work at? He can't even show his face. Anyway, let's go to the next video. You see I got two. No, I do not have two of these open up. I just got this one open up right here. The other page is just me right here on StreamYard. Now, how long we been on this live? We've been talking about him a little bit long. Karmelo, let me see. It only happens like that when I go to messages anyway. I don't know why I did. I don't want to hear him at all. Okay, so that's it with these videos right now. Thank you, Jermaine, for these videos. I'm not going to listen to him at all. You want to see that? You guys are going to watch it yourself. Because I understand that he lost his son, and I feel sorry for him. You know, my condolences. But one thing I'm not going to support is the foolishness he talks about as well. If he's talking educated and not being racist and saying dumb shit, then I can listen. Otherwise, I'm not listening to him. You know, like I said, I think the whole thing.
Extra undulation.
What the hell? Hold up. Hold on. Let me go to this one. This is crazy. That was a hot
That
ass
looks pretty
mess.
long.
Listen, they can let that shit up online, but they can't let you say the GUN and things of that nature. Okay, but anyway, I forgot what I was saying after, after that came up. Boy, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh man, I forgot what I was going to say. Let me see. Before I saw that shit. Hold on. Okay, yeah, that's what I was saying. Hold on. So as I was saying, I understand that Mr. Metcalf lost his lost his son and everything, but still, that gives you no right to sit up there and say some of the things that he said about black people, because that does not pertain to all black people, what he was saying. Okay, that's just showing another ignorant ass person, okay, that would get up there on social media and say these things and put all black people in the same category. Like I said, I understand, he's, sad, mad, and everything else about his son. But it still is no reason to do certain things or say certain things that he has done, period, and said, period. Okay? That was funny, wasn't it? I'm like, what the hell? It's like the other day I was watching the short films that I watch. They do not have anything to do with SCX. I'll be watching like one where this lady end up meeting a king and didn't know it. And they end up, getting married and everything. They go through a lot of, problems and etc. Nothing dealing with no weird shit. And then I started watching this other series where they make these people look like vegetables, okay? And they go through weird stuff as well. It's like regular marital stuff and non-marital things. And all of a sudden, another one comes up. I watched one that was like werewolves and stuff like that too. But all of a sudden, another one comes up. And this time, you got these animals and doing weird shit. One of the animals was GAY, and it was actually in bed having you know what. And I was like, they got this shit up on on YouTube? But yet YouTube don't want you to say GUN or KNIFE and all this other stuff, but they let these videos be up. I don't know if that's on YouTube or not, because when you do the film things, like I don't know what system they use to put those on, but they do advertise that on YouTube, on TikTok, and everything. That's how I saw it. Just popped up when I was watching a video on YouTube, and I decided to watch the one with the prints and stuff, which turned out to be pretty good, and everything. And I've been watching. I haven't watched it in a couple of days, but I usually watch that. But the vegetable ones, it just popped up too. And I started watching different ones, and then all of a sudden, one comes up with the damn animals. I forgot what kind of animals they were. Y'all should see these. It's so funny. And they was doing the most. And then another one popped up. No, then another AI popped up on my phone talking about, do you want to get an AI boyfriend? And you can make the AI boyfriend or the AI girlfriend do whatever you want them to do. I'm sitting up here looking at this shit like, what? You got to be a freaking zoid to be having a damn AI boyfriend or girlfriend. I mean, what can you possibly do with them? You're going to watch them do stuff and you're going to what? So I was up here cracking up. Yeah, we get ready to watch that. So anyway, like I said, I am so happy that Karmelo Anthony got a new judge. Okay, now I hope that this judge grants him a retrial. Okay, so we can hear his side of the story, and he can tell us why he had a KNIFE in his bag, and how did he fear for his life, and whatever else they asked him. Okay, and then plus you can bring in the other witnesses, and you can just bring everything out on the table so we can know exactly, and so he can definitely get a fair trial. And if anybody got phones and shit and was recording that, they need to get that and play those videos. Because we need to know for real everything that happened. We need to know everything that happened. Not just, oh, they came, what's his name? What's the boy's name? The other trend, came up there, Hunter, came up there and just was like, what's your name? Do you go to what school you go to? And this was all calm, cool, and collective. And then as soon as Karmelo said your team is ass or whatever the case is, and everything I heated. Come on, y'all. If you think I believe it went down like that, you crazy as hell. It's as sure as I don't believe all this shit y'all be saying about other things. That these black boys and girls just done HUNGED themselves. Okay, they done put themselves up on a rope and did it. Okay, I don't believe that shit either, okay? Just as sure as I don't believe many things, period. Anyway, my prayers are extended out to Karmelo's family and for him, and I hope that he does get that retrial later on today. And my prayers are extended out to the Metcalf family too, because it's a sad situation when you lose your son. And for me, I think this whole damn thing could have been prevented. Point blank. The entire thing could have been prevented. Period. And until we all realize that you're going to have many more situations like this. And it could be a black kid, it could be a white kid. It doesn't matter to me. Nobody deserves to be unalive unless it's self-defense, true self-defense. With that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and get to Nola Wells. All right, let me go ahead and stop sharing this one. That was a trip. I'm like, what the hell are they doing? You laughing about her? Because I'm sitting up here like, what? I'm gonna have to get that shit off of there. Huh? I stopped it though, because that was a hot ass juicy mess. Just comes right up on TikTok, and they actually let that go. But yet, as soon as you type certain words into TikTok, they be talking smack and won't even let the damn videos go up. I told you this girl is hypocrite in this world, for real. Damn. I can't believe that they was doing that right there. Simulating that. Positions. Come on now. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this information on Nola Wells. And again, it was his birthday yesterday, a day before my daughter's birthday. And his mom and his dad did a little celebration like type of thing for him. So that was really sweet. So I think Jermaine did include some of those videos. So we're going to go ahead and check all of this stuff that we got for Nola Wells out real quick, okay? We've been on here for an hour and 28 minutes. Only got 2 hours. After 30 more minutes, that's going to be it. So let's go ahead and check this out. Man, that was a hot ass mess. I'm not going to lie. I'm scared to push this a damn again. That was a hot ass juicy mess. It was shit. Well, we already know that they said that something could have been, you could easily hide somebody's body in that area. Okay. Now let's go on up here and get this. Okay, so let me see which one I want to show first. Let's see this one first. Well, let me go in order. Let's look at this one because they claim that there is a potential new witness. And you just sent this to me today? Yeah, on the 19th. Okay.
If there is a witness who has a husband with her on the boat and they took a certain amount of video, it could change everything, especially if the video is time stamped. Straight out to veteran trial lawyer, defense attorney Philip Dubay joining me. He's joining us out of LA, formerly in the public defender's office. They try a ton of cases. Philip, first of all, has she turned it into police? She said she was. If she hasn't, I give her no credibility at all. Look, I want this to be true. Why? Because I want the video. I want to see the timestamp on the video. I want to see.
And the timestamp is very important because that lets us know when it was done, the time, the date, all of that. And I'm like Nancy Grace. If you were a witness to this altercation, instead of coming to social media, why didn't this person go to the mom, the dad, the attorney? Let them know this. Show them your proof and let them go from there.
Was he still on Horn Island at 4:30 when his acquaintances on the Triton boat left? I want that video. And if she hasn't brought this forward to LE, law enforcement, then it means nothing to me. I mean, if I know a young man turns up dead in the water, and I know there's a controversy surrounding this, I mean, we know she knows that because she's gone online and posted it, then why not hand it over to police?
Agreed. And it should go to the grand jury for part of their investigation. But I got to tell you, if I were cross-examining her, should this even go to trial, the first question I'd ask her on that 4th of July, what she had been drinking. Before that video got activated, everybody would want to
put him up.
And smoke. You know how many people were partying?
Okay, man. Have you lost your mind? You defend criminal cases. I bet everybody you put on the stand has either been high, drunk, or worse during the altercation. Well, every witness is not a nun, a priest, or a virgin. Everybody on Horn Island was drinking, man. What are you talking about? I don't care if she took a drink. I want the video.
You want the truth, is what you want. You want the truth. And let's
and that would be the video.
Remember, Nancy.
Okay.
Not consider.
If there is a witness who has a husband with her on the boat and they took a certain amount of video, it could change everything, especially if the video is time stamped. Straight out to veteran trial
Okay,
lawyer.
so I was up here too busy. Okay, hold on. Reading something else. Let me just save this. So she's right. It needs to have a timestamp. I'm sick of seeing all these videos and they do not have a dag on timestamp or anything. These people making all these damn claims and nothing that proves anything. Where's the video with the timestamp? Like Nancy just said, why didn't this person go to not the police, but to Attorney Crump and to Nolan's parents? Why? We need to see that video. We need to see that video on everything.
That looks pretty long. You know, Tritons are built to hold massive amount of fish. As you can see in this picture of the Triton, that's his leg compared to the door, y'all. Just in this area alone, that is deep enough and long enough to place a body.
Wouldn't you think that you would have seen no one on the bottom of on the floor or something?
Look at their fucking body language.
Or scrambling around, or everybody in a small space on the boat looking at him.
Morgan tenses up and starts shaking his leg, and you can see his face, and he immediately looks over.
Wouldn't you think that you would have seen no one on the bottom of on the floor or something? Or scrambling around, or everybody in a small space on the boat looking at him.
Warren is staring. Warren, you breathing pretty hard there, Bob.
Wouldn't you think that you would have seen no one on the bottom on the floor or something? Or scrambling around, or everybody in a small space on the boat looking at him.
In my last video, I show you that there's 2 doors up under here, as you can see up under Wyatt's brother. Specifically, some up to 6.5 feet long. Nola Wells was 6'1". I find it fucking creepy that you would say something like that, Jax. I mean, you said it. Another photo of the Triton. I did notice the sticker's different. This one is green, but it could be changed every so often. Oh yeah, look at this. Wyatt's brother Ike has a fishing account. He named it the Fish Killing Machine, but better yet, he states that I have a lot of connections on the Gulf Coast from Alabama to Louisiana. So I guess that allegedly makes sense as to why Wyatt would call Cito, because y'all were brothers, and brothers always share connections. Allegedly, right?
Wow.
Sean Puffy Combs was supposed to have.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on, y'all. These damn videos are coming up like what? Okay. Man, that's tripped out. So that boat has that storage space that you could actually put somebody in there. Okay. I don't know if they did that with him or if he was even on the boat, like that. I don't know. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but I don't know. Same stuff. Okay, let's go and finish looking at some more of these. Let's look at this right here.
Wouldn't you think that you would have seen no one on the bottom of on the floor or something?
Oh, he is.
Or scrambling around, or everybody in a small space on the boat looking at him or something. I mean, it's just so crazy to think that. Why would we call Cito if we have a dead body on the boat? I mean, why would we call the Coast Guard? You know, why would we do the things we did if we know we killed somebody? And then another following up on that is, why aren't we in jail yet? I mean, we're not geniuses. There's no way we could have done a murder. I mean, there's no way we could have covered it up, especially out there with that many people. Go ahead. Wouldn't you think that you would have seen Nolan on the bottom of on the floor or something, or scrambling around?
Yeah, I'll say on the bottom of. Okay, that's yeah. I don't know what to say, you guys. Let's go.
That looks pretty long, you know.
I don't believe for 1 second that anybody's seen Nola Wells at 6:30 p.m. on that island. Because if they did, why the hell did they come out sooner? Why did they come out when they knew everybody was asking for information? When they were seeking information? When
he said, well, if it shows Nolan in an altercation, that's relevant even without a timestamp. The reason why you need that timestamp because you need to know exactly the day that he was in that altercation, okay? Because for all we know, it could be an old video, okay? That's why you need a timestamp. And I think they definitely need to take that to the police if this is true, okay? If this is true, because we don't know if it's true or not.
Police supposedly were seeking information, when the family was seeking information, why wouldn't they have came out and said, oh, I see Nolan on the island after 6:30? Why did you wait till a month and a half after, oh, TMZ's got it? That bullshit. Quit lying. Who paid you?
Right, and that's what I said because, like, okay, if you see him at 6 o'clock, 6:30, you know, when they were talking about it initially, why wasn't that brought out? Okay, why are you waiting around until the damn audio was released? And now all of a sudden, you see all these witnesses talking about they saw him. And then also, too, if he was so sloppy drunk, like people were saying, like somebody was saying, I think 2 people, well, damn, you see a drunk dude walking around at 6:30 because that's around the time he probably would have been drunk because according to what the other people said, it seemed like since you're grown as hell, you would go over there and see if everything is okay with this dude.
For real, who paid you? Okay, you're saying the girl that he wanted to stay back with didn't see him after 6, didn't see him at all after he got on the boat, supposedly with the boys. Nobody else seen him, but this supposed person seen him after 6 p.m. That's a crock of shit. Another lie they're spinning in this, okay? It's a bunch of bullshit. We all know something happened to Nola Wells, and he wasn't on that island after 6:30 p.m. I promise you that.
And a lot of people don't believe he was on that island, okay? We believe that he got on that boat and all this shit is concocted up to make you guys think that he went back to that island. When in reality, he went back on that damn boat, went on back to the house, wherever the hell they went to that party, something popped off there. You know, a physical altercation could have happened, and then he was unalived either accidentally or on purpose, and then placed inside of the boat to be taken out there at a certain time and dumped to make it appear that he drowned. That's what I think. Now, I don't know if that's correct, but just that's what I think, point blank. See, we looking at the boat and thinking everything happened on the boat because we heard that daggone audio, when in reality, nothing might have happened on that boat. Okay, it may have happened somewhere else, and then he was brought to the boat. That's why you didn't see his body or anything else. Okay, as far as that audio, y'all said that you didn't hear what I heard, so we're going to leave it at that, period. Okay, forget the audio. We're talking about what we think happened, if anything like that happened. He could have been in an altercation with other people. It may not even be the people we think. You know, it could be somebody else there who was at the party that he got in an altercation with, but they, you know, they still would have had to work together to conceal the body and do all of that. But we will see it. Eventually, the truth will come out. Point blank.
That looks pretty long.
About how he ended up getting his phone. Oh, and if anybody thinking that I'm saying that this excuses anybody else that was out there on Horn Island on the 4th of July, that's not what I'm saying, everybody. And trust and believe I'll bring that together soon. Everybody just allow me to take these steps that I need to get to for everybody to be able to follow what was being said about Javon Williams' phone and how he got his phone. And everybody needed to know the original story where Javon Williams had stated that him and 18-year-old Nola Wells had put their phone on the boat together. And that's very important because, as we just heard from the boys right there, stating that 5 people had left their phones on the boat, including Javon Williams had left his phone on the boat. So therefore, that would bring us back to that original story where Javon Williams and also Nola Wells was said to have put their phones on the boat together. Now, that alleged Javon TikTok channel last told me this right here on my TikTok video saying, I got my phone off of the island. That was the very last thing that the mom right here. Now, this comment is very important right here, especially the way that this is worded. It says, no, that's not what he said, correcting this person, Jason, up here. What he said was, when he made it back to the dock and the boat arrived, he got his phone back. It's very important the way that she says this. She says what he says was, when he made it back to the dock and the boat arrived, meaning that Javon Williams would make it back to the dock before that boat arrived, and Javon Williams would be the one waiting. But wait a minute, what did we just hear from them boys?
There's something different. People that also left their phones on the boat, and we had to wait at the boat launch for them to come and pick them up, including Javon. I mean, Javon left his phone on our boat.
Well, who was waiting on who here? Was it the boys waiting on Javon Williams, and or was it Javon Williams waiting on the boys? And that's when Javon Williams recovered and got his phone that he allegedly left on the boat. And if Javon Williams did leave his phone on the boat, wouldn't that then mean that was probably true that 18-year-old Nola Wells and Javon Williams both did leave their phones on the boat? And if that was true that they both did leave their phones on the boat, wouldn't that then mean that they should have realized that 18-year-old Nola Wells was missing earlier when they was giving Javon Williams his phone back, since that both of their phones would have been together?
Yeah.
Also, wouldn't it be very important the times on when they was at that dock and when they gave Javon Williams his phone as well? Because then 18-year-old Nola Wells' mom say that she was calling 18-year-old Nola Wells' phone around 8 p.m., but she say don't quote the time, so it could have been sooner than that.
Okay.
Which would then still bring the question of, regardless of what time they met at that dock to give Javon Williams his phone and our other people their phone, when 18-year-old Nola Wells didn't come to collect his phone, wouldn't that have made them suspicious that everybody else showed up to get their damn phone about how he ended up getting his phone? And if anybody thinking that I'm saying,
that looks pretty long. You know, Target's built to hold massive amount.
Goodness. Yeah, you would think that they would notice that he wasn't there, but maybe they thought he was with a girl. See, me, I don't give a damn if I would have thought that he was really with a girl. I still would have been like, where is Nola? And let's hit him up. Let's call that girl he's with and see what's up. You know, a lot of y'all don't believe they did anything, and I don't know if they did anything or not. The thing is, though, it looks suspicious. Let's keep it real. It looks very suspicious. Almost weird. So let's see what's going on here.
Give us a sense of what the hardest part of today is.
Not having him here. Not being able to FaceTime him and sing my horrible happy birthday song. Yeah, it's just him not being here with us.
That's sad.
Elmore, how are you remembering your son on this day? Not so much for how he died, because we still don't know that, but for how he lived.
Just the joy that he brought to our family. Just watching old videos and just reading old messages, just memories of conversations, of wrestling matches, me chasing them around the house, stuff like that. That really helps with the entire situation. Thinking about the good times.
Why was it important for you all to do these vigils and honor Nolan in this way on his birthday?
To make sure that his story stays alive, for people to understand too that it's okay to want to ask questions, want to make sure that you know the truth of what happened, but most importantly, just keeping his legacy alive.
Any idea how Nolan would have celebrated his 19th birthday?
He would have been at school, so yes. Of course we would not have been able to see him until the weekend. So I'm sure he would have gone to football practice, had class, and probably been like, hey, Mama, hey, Dad, send me some money so I can go get some actual food.
He definitely looked like his mom. Goodness. He got the same smile.
Yes.
Ben, want to bring you in here. So where do things stand now in the investigation?
Well, right now we're still seeking answers. I know we're trying to work collaboratively with the district attorney's office. Obviously, the Congressional Black Caucus has asked for the FBI to open an investigation. But, you know, we're celebrating Nolan's birthday, what would have been his 19th birthday. Over a month has passed since his tragic death, and still we don't have the answers to what happened to Nola Wells.
Give us a sense of what the hardest.
That's a sad situation, and you know, like I said, it's always, you know, very devastating when people lose their kids, okay, regardless of the circumstances. And I feel for them. My prayers are sending out to them, and hopefully, you know, justice will be served, you know, for their son.
That looks pretty long. You know, tritons are built to hold massive amount of fish. As you can see in this picture of the triton, that's his leg compared to.
Let's see what else we got here. So let's see what Nancy talking about right here real quick.
Bombshell tonight in the Nola Wells investigation. Tonight, a Nola Wells phone evidence torpedo. Good evening. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. I want to thank you for being with us. According to the family, they have made the phone and their independent experts readily available.
The Jackson County DA's office, as well as our forensic team, and possibly the FBI, we're going to together download and examine the phone. So it's done one time with everybody together, right? This is very common in the law. This is what is supposed to happen. We're waiting for the DA to determine the time, the place, the date. Let us know, and we are going to be there with our forensics team and anybody else, but it's done one time, one examination. We're ready for it to happen.
From our friends at WLOX, that's Liza Park, working with Nolan's mother. To you, Susan Hendricks, now somehow it's made to look like the family, Nolan's family, is not cooperating. Let me understand what has happened. So Nolan's family went out of state. I don't know why. And while they were gone, they get a demand letter from the DA's office.
Yeah, that said you have 24 hours. And they were at the NABJ, National Association of Black Journalists Conference in Georgia. They spoke on stage and they said, wait a minute, we're not there. We can't do that. I thought we agreed on July 15th at that meeting that we would come together and do this. And now you're acting like we're not cooperating, but we are. So then they came back now, Nolan's family attorney saying, okay, any day this week, we need 24 hours notice and we'll make it happen. They're not hiding the phone. They just don't trust for the DA to have the phone alone without an independent investigation into the phone, someone who's not biased.
And, you know, Dave Mack, Crime Stories investigative reporter, the family is afraid. Many people have seen injustice in other cases that have nothing to do with them. And I believe they fear evidence will be destroyed or mishandled. And it can never be recaptured. It's very possible it could never be recaptured. I mean, you and I and Joe Scott, you did an incredible recreation in the Ellen Greenberg case. Same thing here, Dave Mack. I get why the Nola Wells family is fearful.
Well, you know, Nancy, this investigation, I'm putting air quotes in that because if you remember early on, it was a drowning, you know, and no investigation had even been done. You realize he was missing. You know, it wasn't like it was hours and they went back and he was missing for almost 2 days. And the family early on was not getting information that they felt like they should. All they're saying is, we want to be assured of the chain of custody, how the extraction on this phone is going to be performed, who would have access to the extracted data. That's important. Preservation of the evidence. And then when is this phone going to be returned to us? This is the last thing they have of their son. And those things that I just mentioned, Those were the items discussed on July 15th. And there was no follow-up after that until August 12th, when the DA's office, tells the family, well, you got 48 hours to turn the phone over, and they were out of town. So, yeah, there's a lot going on with the most important part
there
of
was
the
no
evidence
way by
that
the
we
time
have.
they find out about the letter that they could comply with the 48-hour requirement. If you know or think you know anything regarding the death of this young man, Nola Wells, dial 228-769-3063. Repeat, 228-769-3063. We are not letting go of the Nola Wells investigation. Bombshell tonight in the...
Good. I'm glad she's not. Okay. And we are not going to let it go either because, something is not right with this case.
That looks pretty long.
At all.
Try it.
Okay. At all. And contrary to what Tatum, whatever his name is, say, regarding Karmelo Anthony, people who are defending, whether you are white or black, Karmelo Anthony, who think that he did commit self-defense, and people who think that Nola Wells did not do this to himself. There's nothing wrong with us, okay? We're not stupid or ignorant or none of these things. We are just concerned, and we want the real facts and real justice to happen. Point blank. No one wants to lose their child. No one, okay? Let's see. I think we got about... What is this one right here? Did you send this today? Oh, let's hear this one.
Y'all, just when I thought things could not get worse, this case is just taking all types of turns. Like, it's crazy. Now that we done found out that the DA husband is an FBI agent, like, we can't even get help from the FBI. But y'all, hear me out. Whatever's in Nolan's phone, the DA know what's inside the phone. They've been talking to the granddaddy. They've been talking to the parents, the judge. Man, these people are connected. You got governors. You got people that own Horn Island, CETO, public relations. You got doctors, anesthesiologists. Like, these people, this is bad. This is really bad. In GTA, these people could run a whole organ trafficking if they wanted to. This is crazy. This is beyond crazy. They know what's in the phone. They already been in contact with the kids. They know what happened. Everybody just got to stick to the story. That's why they want to all of a sudden demand the phone, because they want to delete what's in the phone that will prove what actually happened to him. A lot of people have sent me private messages saying that Nolan had a video recording of them either doing rugs or Wyatt doing rugs or Warren's little brother getting beat up at one of his MAA matches. Y'all, just when I thought things could not get worse, this case is just taking all types of turns. Like, it's crazy. Now that we done found out that the DA husband is an FBI agent, like, we can't even get help from the FBI. But y'all, hear me out.
So
whatever's...
Well, I couldn't stop it. This thing on time. See, that didn't work this time, Jermaine, stopping it with the space bar. So I heard that earlier. Somebody came into my chat and said the same thing about the father or husband is an FBI agent. Hey, I mean, what else do we not know? Okay. Like I said, I believe this is a possible cover-up. I mean, it just looks like one, you guys. It smells like one. It looks like one. And I just think it is one. Now, if it's truly one, we don't really know, but it just sounds like it could be one. Got a whole phone.
That looks pretty long. Tritons are built to hold.
They probably do have record. No, they probably don't have. You know what? Honestly, we don't know for sure, because what was on the other people's phones too. And then certainly we want to know what was deleted, if anything was deleted from Nolan's phone. That's why they definitely got to be there when they examine that phone. They have to be there. Okay. So let's see what else. I don't know what time it is. Let me go over here to this chat over here and see something real quick. So we got about 5 more minutes, so let me hurry up. Okay, so what's up, Mama Magazine? Thank you so much for being here. Definitely did. Definitely did. I would have wanted to do the same. Let's meet up and go over the phone to the right. You don't just let them take the phone. They could do anything, shit. And then they'll come back and lie to you and tell you there was nothing there. Hell no. And I'm trying to figure out, hell, I would already have somebody look at that phone and examine it. I would already know. I thought they were already doing that anyway. The mom and dad. I would have already had somebody look at that phone and examine it already. So I can know already. Right. Like all of their phones and check everything just to make sure. That's the way you would do it. I'm telling you, if the shoe was on the other foot, no friends would be already incarcerated, okay? The case would be over. For real, it would be. And y'all know it. Let's send this for us real quick. Okay, let's see. We got time for one more. Okay, let's see. I think we saw all of these. Did we see this one already? I think so. Yeah, I think I showed all of them, but let's look at this one again.
Hey y'all, hey. I came across this audio of a young lady, potential witness, having a conversation with a podcaster, and they are described on the island, and she believes that this involves Nolan.
Thought they were MMA guys. So that was his exact words, and he was an eyewitness. He said that they left in a hurry.
The MMA guys left in a hurry?
They left in a hurry after the altercation. He didn't say if they came back or if they just moved to another part of the island.
That was flying by, or no? That was
No. When he was talking about the boat flying by, that was after we had gotten the information that Warren had made the call and the boat was sinking and all of that. And it was kind of like, did that happen or did it not happen? And he was able to say, I did see a boat and it was going extremely fast. He said it flew past them. And by the time that they made it up to where that boat was, it was stalled out.
It's almost like they got in a fight. Nolan got his neck broken by one of the MMA guys, and they were trying to get him help. So they were flying past, and then that's when we get the audio call and can hear everything that's going on.
She's actually describing.
And you know what, y'all? Now, I said maybe they went back to the party. So that's why I said it's very hard to try to figure this out. But so if this is the case, if this witness is telling the truth, that means that the altercation happened on the beach, right? So if it happened on the beach, though, and other people are out there, you mean to tell me all of these people are covering this up? I mean, it makes sense the way she just said it. I'm going to be perfectly honest. But then that would mean that all of these people are covering it up too, whoever was out there. Because if they got into an altercation and the MMA guys who are, wrestlers or something like that, and they used one of those moves on him and broke his neck like this person indicated, people would have to have seen that. That's the first thing. So I don't know. I don't know if this witness is telling the truth or not. I don't know. It's hard to say and stuff. But if she's telling the truth, that means it happened on the beach. But I still, like I said, I'm still having a problem with, the other people that were on the beach. This could also be a distraction as well. I don't know. But she wouldn't be saying MMA guys, because then that's like letting you know who it could be. Unless there's some other MMA guys there. You just never know. Anyway, let's go ahead and stop this. I think we show all of the videos tonight. So they claim there is a possible new witness. And I'm like Nancy Grace, if this person's not lying, take that information, that video, whatever you have, to Attorney Crump and Nola's parents and go from there. Okay, versus just being on social media. So we can see and they can find out what really happened to Nola Wells. Point blank. Let me make sure I show all the videos real quick, and then we gotta get out of here tonight, you guys. Make sure I showed them all. I think I did though.
That looks pretty long. You know, Tritons are built to hold massive.
I think I covered them all. Yeah, I think I did. So, okay. So, yeah, that's it. Let me go ahead. So, I am right on time. I cannot believe I got finished right on time tonight. Just 1 minute over. So, thank you guys so much for being here tonight and stuff. Thanks to our Mama Magazine, to Jermaine, to everybody in the bushes, and everyone who watched this in the replay. Okay? And y'all, don't forget to thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notifications. Share and leave a comment. And if you want to show donation, if you want to give a donation to the channel, you can do that by doing a super sticker, super chat, cash app donation at $Shades2, or you can copy yourself a membership for $4.99, or you can buy some jewels. Okay? All righty. Anyway, you guys, I'm getting ready to go to bed after I take a shower. I definitely, enjoyed talking about all this tonight. Not enjoyed it like I'm happy about what happened, but the fact that we are, trying to figure out what happened. Okay, and we spreading, information and all of that stuff. And I am really happy though about Karmelo Anthony, the outcome of his hearing on Wednesday. And I hope that this outcome today is just as good. And I will be keeping you guys updated, probably in a daily news reaction as soon as I find out. It's probably going to be revealed before I get up because I'm 3 hours behind where he's at and stuff. So I don't know by that time when I get up, and I'll do a video on it. But we definitely need to get justice. Justice, to wrap everything up, we definitely need to get justice. Justice for Nola Wells and his family. Because I honestly don't believe that this dude got sloppy drunk, managed to get in the water some type of way and drown. I don't believe that. And I certainly don't believe he swam back to the daggone try to swim over there to the shore, I guess that's what you call it, and ended up drowning. I don't believe that at all. Okay, just plain ridiculous. Period. I believe something happened to him, something sinister happened to him, some type of physical altercation, and that's what I believe. Okay, and as soon as we get that autopsy result, definitely the toxicology result, then we're going to really find out. And if anything is left on, we're going to find out too. Period. Okay? And as far as Karmelo, like I said, I'm glad that he has a new judge. They did say this judge gives out longer sentences, but if this judge, they said he's fair. So if this judge grants him a retrial and his case is, he goes back to trial again, I'm pretty sure that this judge is going to, allow for certain things to happen so Karmelo Anthony can get a fair trial. All right? So with that being said, you guys have a blessed night, and I will see you guys tomorrow with another Night Owl Live with Shay Shay. Let me see what you said over here. Okay. Yeah. None of us really believes this, okay, that he did all this weird stuff that they were talking about, like swimming and stuff. He walked off on the island with some girl. I don't believe that at all. I don't care if a girl comes forward and says that it's true. Where are the pictures? Where's the proof? Right. You're going to swim to go to another boat. And I doubt very seriously he would have done it, because if the boat is sinking, or anything else, why would you get on it in the first place? Why? Like I said, stuff does not add up, okay? And a lot of stuff, got some inconsistencies with those stories as well. All right? Any other comments do y'all want to leave before I get ready to go? Thanks to everybody in the bushes, everybody who watched this in replay too. Y'all don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe, hit that bell notifications. Y'all have a blessed night, blessed morning, and I will see y'all later on today. All righty? All right. Let's get out of here. Let me change this, man. All right. Good night, y'all.
Yo, turn the lights down low and the drama up. She's late, she's loud, and she live. Woo! You already know who it is. Shay's too, baby. She back again. Crowd lit, vibe on 10. Shay walk in like we back again. News, tea, jokes and spins. She don't do small talk, she go in. From the headlines to the comment section, she call names with no correction. You tuned in, don't act brand new. It's late night, baby, she got that view. She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I lacked game, back again. She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Popcorn ready, wig on alert. She dropped one line and somebody hurt. Talk show queen with a side of roast. She run this thing from coast to coast. Late on purpose, still on time. She hit you with shade, then call it a rhyme. Talk smart, talk slick, talk flame. Say the name right here, late night with Shay. She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. That's right. News, drama, laughs, whatever else you feel like. One mic, one queen. Late night with Shay. On Shay's tube, she back again. It's late night with Shay. Yeah, she say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. It's late night with Shay. She say what she want and laughs all day. Live on Shay's tube, press replay. You thought I left, nah, I'm back again. Yeah.
All right, you guys, again, have a blessed night. Good night and sweet dreams, my boys. Good night, y'all. Oh, man.